The war has begun, and no one is safe anymore. But what makes A-Train's death so powerful isn't just the moment itself, it's what it represents. It's the culmination of years of character development, guilt, redemption, and consequences. And when you connect the dots, it becomes clear that A-Train's ending may actually be one of the most meaningful conclusions in the entire series. Because A-Train didn't just die, he completed his story. From the very beginning, A-Train has always been one of the most complicated characters in The Boys. When we first met him, he wasn't presented as a traditional villain. Instead, he felt like someone trapped inside a corrupt system, someone constantly making selfish decisions just to survive. He was reckless, arrogant, and emotionally detached. But beneath that surface, there were hints that he wasn't entirely beyond redemption. And the very first episode set that tone perfectly. A-Train's introduction came through tragedy. His reckless speed led to the death of someone innocent, a moment that would change everything. That single event didn't just define A-Train's arc. It also set the entire story of The Boys into motion. It created Huey's motivation. It exposed the brutality of the superhero industry. And it showed viewers that this world wasn't going to be heroic. It was going to be messy, violent, and morally complex. But what's interesting is how that moment followed A-Train throughout the entire series. Even when he tried to ignore it, the guilt was always there. It slowly built over time. His health issues forced him to slow down. His relationships began to crumble. His confidence faded. And gradually, we watched him shift from someone obsessed with fame and status to someone questioning his place in the world. That's what made his character so compelling. A-Train wasn't purely evil. He wasn't purely good either. He existed in that uncomfortable gray area, where redemption felt possible but never guaranteed. And that's why his death hit so hard. Because just when it finally felt like he was beginning to change, everything came to an end. During an exclusive interview with Screen Rant's Liam Crowley, Jesse T. Usher opened up about filming A-Train's final moments, and what he revealed adds even more emotional depth to the scene. According to Usher, working alongside Anthony Starr during A-Train's confrontation with Homelander was one of the most intense experiences of his time on the show. And that detail matters more than it might seem, because A-Train and Homelander have always shared a complicated relationship. From the very beginning, A-Train feared Homelander. He respected him, but he also resented him. He tried to stay on his good side, knowing that one wrong move could cost him everything. That tension built quietly throughout the series. Sometimes it surfaced in subtle ways. Sometimes it exploded into conflict. But it was always there, this fragile dynamic between two characters operating under completely different mindsets. And when their final confrontation happens, all of that history comes rushing to the surface. Usher described the moment as visceral, honest, and emotionally raw. He explained that both actors were given the space to explore their characters fully, allowing the scene to unfold naturally rather than feeling overly dramatic. And when you watch it, you can feel that authenticity. There's hesitation, there's understanding, there's even a quiet acceptance. A-Train knows what's coming. He understands that he can't outrun this moment, and yet he still chooses to face it. And that's where the scene becomes more than just shocking. It becomes meaningful. Because A-Train isn't just dying, he's making a decision. And that decision connects directly back to the very beginning of his story. One of the most powerful hidden clues in this scene comes from A-Train's final act, swerving to avoid hitting the girl. On the surface, it seems like a simple act of compassion. But when you connect it to his introduction in Season 1, it becomes something far more significant. A-Train's story began with him running through someone without hesitation. He didn't slow down, he didn't think, he just kept moving forward. That moment defined him as reckless and selfish. But now, in his final moments, he's faced with a similar situation. Only this time, he stops, he thinks, he chooses differently. That's not just character growth. That's full-circle storytelling. Jesse T. Usher even revealed that he applauded when he first read the script. And it's easy to understand why. Because in a chaotic and unpredictable show like The Boys, it's rare for a character to receive such a poetic ending. A-Train doesn't die as the reckless speedster we first met. He dies as someone who finally understands the consequences of his actions. And in doing so, he breaks the cycle that defined his entire journey. But there's another layer to this moment that makes it even more impactful. According to Usher, A-Train processes everything in just seconds. But during filming, they slowed the moment down to emphasize his internal struggle. That creative decision allows viewers to witness A-Train's realization in real time. He knows what's about to happen. He understands the consequences, and yet he still chooses to do the right thing. That's what transforms the scene from shocking to emotional.